Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I just want to start off by saying Happy New Year and what a year it's been. Particularly one of the best shows I've seen on FX this year was The American Horror Story. You all seen it. If you haven't seen it, you all need to check it out. It's a story about this family who moves into a dark house, a beautiful house that's made, but it's a very, very dark house with a evil presence, and basically this family goes through trials and tribulations of what is believed to be a ghost house, where if anyone has seen this the movie The Shining, you'll get an idea of what this movie is about. It doesn't come off like The Shining, because although it has some elements like Stephen King's original movies, but the difference with this is that this story is 500 times better, the way the movie should have been. And I'll tell you the truth, I saw American Horror Story this weekend, and I saw the whole 12 episodes, and I'll tell you the truth, it is without no doubt the best show I've seen on FX since Nip Tuck. You can definitely tell that it's not as graphic as Nip Tuck, because we all know, I believe Ryan Murphy was the guy who created the show. He basically made a very, very interesting horror story. If you like shows like Creep Show, or you like Tales of the Crypts that was on HBO years ago, you're kind of like this. But the stories are not, they all intertwine with this idea that this family lives in a ghost house, and as always, when something evil happens in the past, the soul is left in the house in the present and in the future. Now, what I like about this show, and I'll be honest about it, is that the star of the show, there's a couple of brilliant performances that have to be put out there for people to understand. First of all, I love Jessica Lange's performance, because she plays this character named Constance, who's like this down south type of chick. But basically the problem with this chick is that she's a sinister bitch. She's also a very funny person on the show. Sometimes she has her dark moments, but boy is she brutally honest. Jessica Lange, a comeback performance, she did. And the thing I love about her performance is that every scene that you see with her, there are moments, she is the most complex of characters, because there are times when you want to hate her because she could be a bigot, and there are times when you feel sorry for her because of the trials and tribulation, and yet you want to feel disgusted by her manipulation of other people she has influence. Another brilliant actor who is definitely on the rise is Evan Peters, who played Tate. Tate is without no doubt the most villainous, but yet the most interesting character, and the actor who played him, Mr. Peters, gave a brilliant performance. He should also be nominated for that performance, because Tate is without no doubt the most evil character in the show. Because you don't, it's funny about the show. I'll get to the criticisms about the show in a minute, but I have to put it out there for those two, because those two were the most evil characters in the whole show. And yet at the same time, I do like Zachary Quintos. He was kind of funny as one of the gay ghosts. And then there was Morris Chestnut. He was also very good as the security guard. And then, of course, the main family members. They were all very good too. I especially love Violet. She was also like the depressed, tough bitch. But I won't blow up all the scenes that happen in this story, because at the very end is a lot of shocking surprises. So that's why I don't want to spoil it too much. But I have to say, the best episode I saw on this show, of course, the ending was when they were dealing with the origin of how Tate went crazy. When he did that school shooting, it was without no doubt the most chilling scene. And when he was killed, because this is the very beginning, it's not really spoiling the end of the show, but when you see how he was killed, you say to yourself, they did such a brilliant job in his massacre. So, it's something that is deep and dark, but yet at the same time, the show did a fantastic job not putting too much gore into the show, but really giving you a chilling sense of what this character is really like. And I hope, something, I heard that they were going to do different scenes and different storylines to this story, but something, I will be honest with you, if they have to bring back Tate, because he is without no doubt the best character I've seen on television in a while. The only problem that I have with this show, and maybe it's me, and they're kind of explaining it, but it's a little confusing, is you don't really know who's dead, who's alive on that show. Because I'll give you what I mean. When you watch the show, you don't really know who is alive, who is dead, who's a ghost, who has medium powers. It just maybe that's just how the show develops. From what I understand of the show, it's up to the ghosts if they want to present themselves or they don't want to present themselves. So I don't know. Like, there was a scene like in the very beginning when the security guard was bringing Ben's crazy girlfriend to jail. Now, does he have powers of medium, or is he just, does she present herself? Or like the scene when the when the detective and Ben's ex-girlfriend's sister came to visit the house, and they thought that she was dead, but she was actually alive, but alive as a ghost. It's stuff like that it makes you think, well, does this show make any, like, that's the kind of confusing of the part. Maybe that's what the story builds on, because it lets you decide who has what kind of power, and who is dead, and who's a ghost, and who's alive, and who's going through torment. I'll tell you the honest to God truth. I think, well, I don't want to really spoil the end, but maybe when people start watching it for a while, and maybe when they catch up on it, then we could talk about the ending. Because the only problem I have with talking about the ending, because I have a theory as to why it ended the way it did, but I'll tell you the honest to God truth, that was the only really problem that I have with the show. I mean, of course, yeah, there were parts of the show where the camera kind of shook a little bit, and it felt like a dizzy experience. But I'll tell you the honest to God truth, and those are maybe that part of the camera angles, that's like minor stuff. But the biggest problem I had was the idea of who had what kind of power, and who was dead and who was alive was the problem. Because that's what I think people, like, I heard people telling me that, part of the confusion was that you don't really know if Violet was really dead. You don't know if Ben is dead. You don't know if Ben is alive. Is he dreaming all this? Is this just part of the house's evil? And I think, I think that's what made people say, what, even though the show was great, it does have its little flaws. But at the end of the day, you know what? If you really want to see an entertaining show that finally, there's a lot of good horror shows coming out. Like, this is up there with The Walking Dead. So if you like those type of television shows, then you know what? This is the show for you. Because I will say, the best TV show that I saw in 2011 is American Horror Story. And, something, it was worth the wait, because I didn't watch the whole show. I kind of downloaded and then watched it like after the show was complete, so you didn't have to keep recording it and downloading it and doing it. I just rather do the whole thing, watch it, and then see how the show comes about. But I'll be honest with you, me and my daughter, my daughter loves Adelaide because she thought she was kind of like funny too, like cute funny. But something, I give the show an A+. I mean, seriously, bring back Tate. Tate is without no doubt the most chilling character, and Evan Peters, you deserve an Emmy and a Golden Globe. And Jessica Lange, this is your comeback performance, because you are absolutely brilliant in this show. So hit me up with your comments, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the whole concept of the show. Do you think that it made a lot of sense? Because I'll tell you the honest to God truth, and this is my final point because I know my time is short, is that whether you like the show or whether you don't like the show, I must say I give it credit for its effort and how they want to make different TV shows. And I'm really glad that horror is coming back into the primetime mainstream, because there are not a lot of horror television shows that you can go to watch. Like, I remember the shows like Tales of the Crypt were on TV years ago, and you were able to watch that like every night. I'm kind of glad that they're bringing it back. I'm kind of glad that they're taking a chance like The Walking Dead, and it's becoming popular. Now American Horror Story is becoming popular too with its brilliant writing. So I hope that more stories come about, and because to tell you the truth, there's a lot of stuff that Steve Niles is doing that would be great for television too. But something, take a chance in the horror stuff for all the TV producers and the directors and the writers who are looking for new stories. Horror is out there, and it's if you pick a really great story, you'll have a really good entertainment value for people to take a look on. So hit me up with your comments, tell me what you think, and again, enjoy your New Year's Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's. Just enjoy the New Year's is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry for stuttering. And for the most part, like I always say, use your mind. It's your best weapon. And to tell you the truth, I hope that everybody did have a great Christmas, and I hope that everybody had a great New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day, and more importantly, just try to enjoy the new year. So take care of yourself. Remember, use your mind. It's your best weapon. And I will talk to you all later.